Excitement building as the Stanley Cup Finals near. Bars and restaurants gear up.
The entire city will just be all in Avs gear, everywhere on the streets, people up and down.
With packed houses expected, how businesses plan to keep staff safe as Denver sees COVID cases going up.
A change in policy after Denver 7 investigates.
How many times do you think firefighters could make a difference by issuing an IV?
Every shift, every day.
Denver health reversing course after we discovered firefighters were barred from administering emergency IVs.
When you have the knowledge and capacity to do something and you're not allowed to do something, that's frustrating.
A new tool in the fight against wildfires.
We can run a simulation and basically use that to understand how the fire propagates.
The technology developed here in Colorado, helping experts track a fire's path.
Decking Denver in burgundy and blue. The decorations are coming out as we get closer to the Stanley Cup final.
Excitement's been building for weeks as the Avs cruise through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs.
And as fans wait with anticipation, bars and restaurants are preparing for packed crowds ready to cheer on those Avs.
Denver 7's Byron Wang is live downtown tonight with how bars are gearing up while keeping the high spread of COVID in mind. Byron?
And they are certainly keeping that in mind, and right now their #1 goal is to make sure that all their employees are healthy and safe and just ready to serve all the crowds during the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, we get killed before and after the games.
He means that in a good way.
They start here, they go to the game, and then they finish here, and it gets crazy.
But it's going to get even busier at Mike Goldman's Nola Jane Restaurant and Bar in Larimer Square for the Stanley Cup Finals.
I know it's going to be crazy. You know, we'll have both floors rocking and rolling.
And to keep all that extra business possible,
we need everybody on board for this.
That means keeping employees extra safe. Unlike what we've seen for the last 2 years, staffing shortages weren't an issue for the establishments we spoke to Friday. But 13 counties in Colorado now fall within the state's COVID-19 high-risk category, which includes all of the Denver metro.
We have hand sanitizer by the gallons, you know.
Adam Fitterer is the bar manager at Smash Face Brewing in Lodo.
We keep COVID tests on site. We want to make sure if any of our staff feels sick that they have a test ready to go. We just want to stay on top of all the CDC guidelines.
In a statement to Denver 7, the Colorado Restaurant Association said in parts, a rise in COVID-19 cases is the last thing local restaurants need right now, especially during the upcoming Avs game. Please be kind and patient with the people serving you. In the meantime, those serving you are eager to.
We're prepared. We have a really great staff of people that have been here for quite a while, so everybody's excited.
We are all very excited, to say the least. This place right here in Larimer Square is busy now. It's going to be absolutely packed during the Stanley Cup Finals. As of right now, we haven't heard from any Denver official announce any plan that they're going to roll out mask mandates again. We also haven't seen any signs outside of these establishments requiring guests to wear masks, but we certainly have seen a lot of staff wear them. We're live in Larimer Square. Byron Wang, Denver 7.
All right, Byron, thank you. And we have a better idea of when the puck will drop for the Stanley Cup Finals. It all depends on who wins Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow night. So here are the scenarios. Right now, Tampa Bay leads New York 3-2. If Tampa should win tomorrow night, then they would win the Eastern Conference. And that means Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals would be Wednesday night at Ball Arena. If New York wins tomorrow and forces a Game 7 on Monday, that means the series won't begin here in Denver until next Saturday. And we will, of course, be watching and waiting to see what happens very closely. So when the Stanley Cup Finals do begin, you'll be able to watch each game right here on Denver 7. It's your home for the 2022 Stanley Cup Finals.
And the Stanley Cup will mean a shakeup in Ball Arena's concert schedule. The venue announced today that Wednesday's Corinne Leon concert has been moved to October 23rd. A disturbing case tonight out of Weld County. A teenage mother accused of killing her newborn daughter just moments after giving birth. 18-year-old Layla Cepeda is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, according to an affidavit. Investigators believe she stabbed her baby after delivering the child early Wednesday morning at a home in Nunn, that's north of Greeley. Cepeda is currently undergoing treatment at a hospital.
Remembering a young woman lost to gun violence. Tonight, friends and loved ones and other families who have lost children to violence gathered at Isabella Thallis Park to remember the 21-year-old on the 2nd anniversary of her murder. Isabella Thallis was shot and killed as she and her boyfriend walked their dog in Denver's Ballpark neighborhood. Her mother says this journey for any family is so difficult.
There's no amount of music, rocks, flowers
support is ever going to bring my baby back. So this is what I do to try and help other people. They shouldn't have to go through it.
Michael Close is the man charged with her murder, and investigators say he yelled at Isabella about her dog before opening fire with an AR-15 that he had taken from a friend. Close is scheduled to stand trial for murder and other charges next month. The recent mass shootings in Uvalde, Texas, and Buffalo, New York have led to widespread calls for action on gun control and reform. And tomorrow, thousands of people are expected to march in D.C. for the March for Our Lives rally. A march is also happening in Denver at Civic Center Park. That march is scheduled from 9:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon.
Supply chain issues are stalling the reopening of the bathrooms at Denver's Union Station. They've been closed since December when trace amounts of fentanyl were found on surfaces in there. RTD hoped to have them reopened by the end of this month, but Denver 7's learned that's been pushed back to August because of shipping delays for new doors. The bathroom renovations, just one of several changes coming to Union Station in the next 16 months as RTD makes areas of the underground concourse available only to paying customers. And riders we talked to today say they hope these changes improve safety.
You see people making drug transactions in the bathrooms, on the corners, up and down on the escalators, outside the doors. It's unpleasant, it smells.
RTD also is adding new ticket vending machines in the coming months.
Tonight, a significant development that will mean better care for Denver residents calling for emergency help.
In the wake of a Denver 7 investigation, Denver Health says it will now allow firefighters to administer IVs to help patients in need of emergency care.
Chief investigative reporter Tony Kowaleski has obtained the internal memo and takes us inside a decision 5 years in the making.
When we show up and you can't do anything.
You're hearing perspective from a veteran Denver firefighter.
When you have the knowledge and capacity to do something and you're not allowed to do something, that's frustrating.
The something he's talking about is what's inside this plastic bag. For several years, Denver Health's medical director has prevented firefighters from administering IVs to Denver residents in need of emergency aid.
From your vantage point, is Denver Health blocking Denver firefighters from saving lives?
Yes, every day. We go on these calls every day, and we know that when we get there, we can do more. We have the capability, the training, the certifications, and just simply aren't allowed to. That's a problem.
He currently works for Denver Fire. He asked us to disguise his identity to save his job.
How many times do you think firefighters could make a difference by issuing an IV?
Every shift, every day.
Kevin Apron spent 3 years as a Denver firefighter.
The people of Denver are not getting the service that they think they are getting.
And that is the foundation of our investigations. Why, for years, have Denver firefighters been prevented from starting IVs?
I'll answer shortly. Denver Fire does not start IVs.
Kevin McVaney is Denver Health's medical director, the guy who, for some unknown reason, blocked firefighters from starting IVs.
IVs rarely save lives.
Dr. McVaney made those statements to members of Denver City Council back in March. Memos obtained by Denver 7 Investigate show 5 years ago, Denver Fire tried to convince Denver Health to allow firefighters to start IVs. But after 2 years of meetings and memos, nothing changed.
As you sit there now, do you know why back in 2019 the momentum for your department to do IVs just stopped?
I don't. I wish I did.
Denver Fire Chief Desmond Fulton.
Is there a logical reason for Denver Health to prevent your firefighters from giving IVs?
There's not. I don't think there's a logical reason personally.
And here's the surprising shift in this story's plot. 2 months after making those statements to City Council, 3 years after ending discussions on firefighters starting IVs, and just weeks after learning Denver 7 Investigates was about to raise questions about his decisions, Dr. Kevin McVaney sent out this internal email labeled an EMS update. Just hours before our investigation aired last month, Dr. McVaney announced he will now allow firefighters to begin training that will allow them to start IVs in the coming months.
Does somebody at Denver Health need to explain why they didn't allow firefighters and paramedics to administer IVs?
If I lived in Denver, I sure as hell would want to know. I would want to know why. Why are we not allowing this?
Once again, Denver Health has declined a request for an interview in the wake of now a year of reports raising critical questions about the culture and performance of the hospital's paramedics division. The hospital spokesperson wrote specifically that there is a lack of trust that our interview would be fair and objective. But the statement does confirm changes are on the way, allowing firefighters to provide IVs and respiratory support skills for critical patients. So, no interview, but clear and significant change for the people of Denver. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.
Low 90s for today, but it's going to be even hotter for tomorrow and Sunday.
A crime of opportunity as gasoline prices rise.
And all of a sudden, some man pointed out to him that there's gas leaking out on the floor.
How you can keep your tank safe from thieves looking to steal fuel.
Projecting the path.
Before this, the fuel map inside of our model didn't even account for beetle kill.
How artificial intelligence is being used in Colorado's fight against wildfires.